Hello, Greasy Gaming Johnbonne, source for number 2 games. Now, before I begin this review, I'd like to give a shout out to 32-Bit Rich, who is a great Let's Player and has got some really helpful walkthroughs, so check him out when you get the chance. Anyway, I've been wanting to review 40 Winks for years now, but I've been so repulsed by it. I mean, the bottom line is that this game is just a watered-down version of Banjo-Kazooie. But after giving it a chance, I've come to realise that 40 Winks is so much more than that. My initial complaints were that the control was sluggish and the attacks were lame, but after getting used to them, I had no problems whatsoever after that. I'm sure we're all aware of Eurocom, the guys who have developed a load of movie tie-in games and even Crash Bash. Well, this was their first attempt at a game without so much influence from the publishers, and was a game made out of passion rather than for cash. The game is all about going into the dream realms to recover the remaining 40 Winks. The Winks are responsible for good dreams, whereas the Hoodwinks are the opposite. It's up to the absurdly named Rough and Tumble to stop the restless Nightcap before he gives everyone on the planet insomnia. Wait, Rough and Tumble? What kind of parent names their kids Rough and Tumble? That's like if I named my newborn children Bastard and Fuck Farts! It doesn't matter which character you play as because both are equal in attacks and abilities. While Rough uses a lit candle, which has a neat glow effect to it, Tumble uses a teddy bear to thwack her foes. However, when they turn into different beings, their new models will be suited for them. More on that later. The whole objective of the game is pretty simple. You need to save all 40 Winks across the game as well as collect Dream Keys. There's not enough emphasis on getting Dream Keys even though they're required to face the lobby's boss and unlock the next hub, and these things are very well hidden. Each level will require you to collect a number of cogs to open up new doors. Until you get the required amount, you're stuck in the same zone and can't progress through the level. Cogs can be found by defeating enemies, interacting with the environment, or just in plain sight. While I'm okay with the system, it's not very fun. It's not as though getting all the cogs is optional and if you miss a few you don't get the end game reward. Instead, you have to go through the entire level just to unlock new parts and rescue the Winks. This isn't like the Spyro games where getting gems is compulsory for progress, but you don't need all the gems to unlock new parts of the level. So while you're collecting cogs, you'll come across numerous things. One of the most regular occurrences is the Jack-in-the-Box. When you dive into this, you can turn to a single form, which has its perks and will help you get cogs in the level. For example, the Jester can jump higher than the default characters, the Caveman is stronger in melee, the Ninja can string together better combos, and the Robot has a double jump. All are better in some ways than Rough and Tumble in their original forms, but they only last a limited time. Transformation was the big selling point of the game, and it's really just a gimmick. I find it's more of an obstacle blocking the way to things Rough and Tumble need to do. It's just unnecessary arsing about in levels that are already dragged out for no good reason. Other than this, there really isn't much else to the gameplay. In fact, if you can look past the gating, each level is fairly small and should only take 10 minutes. But because you have to get the cogs and transform, you're pretty much forced to spend around 20 to 40 minutes trying to get everything. It gets tedious after a while. The worlds you're in are pretty generic, and it doesn't help that they rarely change in each lobby. If you look at Banjo-Kazooie, each of the levels differs greatly, and even though they might be stock, they go out of their way to prevent looking uninspired. So in a way they are similar, except 40 Winks doesn't have that many memorable characters or hilarious dialogue. Now, to be fair, the antagonists Nightcap and Threadbare are really funny. Although they're not very good on their own and their chemistry isn't brilliant, when the two are together they can make some really funny lines. My favourite is when you defeat Threadbare for the first time.
Don't worry, faithful friend. You may have failed me this time, but we're going to patch you up and you'll be better than ever. Better, leaner, tougher.
Good.
You're the killing machine. What are you?
A grizzly bear killing machine. Roar!
Good. Now, what sort of patch do you want here? Polka dot or floral? Let me
The soundtrack isn't much either, and it rarely shines out, disappointing me because I love video game soundtracks, especially in platform games. Once again, all 40 Winks needed to do was look towards its biggest resemblance, Banjo-Kazooie, and see where they went right and wrong. Finally, the visuals. For the time they would have been pretty good, especially some of the lighting and glow effects in the game, but they haven't aged entirely well. Everything looks like obese balls of plasticine coloured in with crayons. However, some of the transformations look really cool. So although this game is flawed, I'd still recommend you pick it up for a tenner or maybe less. And no matter what people say, I will always think this is a fantastic cult classic. I mean, a fist-fantastic!
Fist-fantastic!
So until the next time, I'm the Greasy Gamer, number one source for number 2 games. Now if you'd excuse me, I gotta go take a kip. Ta-ta for now. Cogs! So although this game is pretty flawed, I'm sorry, I'm still thinking. It's fantastic! Keep this over there. I can't. My God, it's not even that funny. Okay, calm down. Do the fucking. Okay, do for the fucking take. It's fantastic. Okay, let's do a take. Oh shit.